When you first come to ConnectWork on Main, this is what you'll see walking in the front door. We have the conference room that takes up those two bay windows, and we don't use that far door unless there's an emergency. You can see there's signage for where the elevator and stairs are. There isn't a whole lot on the third floor. We pretty much just stay on our floor. And there is a mailbox if you happen to get mail here. One of our neighbors, and then that hallway goes to the elevators and also to our bathrooms. This is what our door shut looks like, just so you know what you're looking for when you're coming up the top of the stairs. This is what you see when you're standing at the very front door of ConnectWork on Main looking out. This is the grand staircase, and that goes out into the main entrance of the co-working space. Just to the right of the main entrance when you're facing the door is where you'll go out if you go out of the building outside of business hours. That's usually after about 6 o'clock p.m. on a weeknight. All right, we are inside ConnectWork on Main. This is our front kind of lobby area. There is a couch here to the left and down, our awesomely fun red table. And then to our right, we have these cool funky chairs and a coat rack, because we all need a coat rack. For reference, that is the outside. And basically in here, this is where the toaster, you can see the yellow thing is the toaster. There is a Keurig to the left there. Behind the desk, which we'll do a little bit closer here in a second, is the printer and scanner and all those things. The front door is set on an auto timer, so every 30 seconds, if it's open, it'll cycle close. So if you're over at the CoWork and you're like, oh my gosh, I forgot to lock the door, not to worry, it locks itself. And the back door is on a 120-second timer. So that is the front, our little front area through this door to the right, and all the way through. You can almost see our hot seat area. Just to the right of us is the entrance to the conference room. All right, this is a little bit closer vantage point. Our office supplies are on the far left cabinet. Our little library, you can see we've got books, coffee mugs, and our growler library is up on the top. We just have one at the moment, working on getting more. But through that door, you can see the next door just to the right there. The first door on the right is the conference room. It's currently closed. And then what we're seeing with the shelving is what we call the annex. It's where games are stored, and it's also our little podcast video recording area. All right, so this is our little cafe area. Water tower, that's where you can get water from. There is a small fridge. Please make sure you only put in your stuff, take out your stuff, all those things. There's bottled water below the desk if you find you need that. There's office supplies, use if you need them, just try to bring your own. There's a super long stapler at the top and also a paper cutter if you happen to need that. Microwave, the printer, and the copier, scanner, those are all double-sided. They don't staple, it's not that cool, but it's double-sided and color and black and white. We also have an electric kettle and a regular drip coffee maker. And then of course we have the Keurig on the counter up there along with our toaster. The toaster is not gluten-free, so just know that if you have a gluten problem, like I do, don't use the toaster. Someday I'll get a second toaster, but we're not there yet. And this is where our mugs are, things like that. We do have coffee from down the street from Cummings. I also have these things called Java Jigs, and those are essentially sustainable Keurig cups that you can use with regular, it's actually, the Cummings coffee is ground for the Keurig. So that's specifically for that. And then we also have some tea as well. These are our cleaning things. I don't know if I can get my camera to do what I want it to do. There you go. So that is what we use to clean our tabletops off and things like that. When you use a desk, just wipe it off and you're good to go. And our mugs are there. There is a library if you find that you'd like some reading material. Feel free to borrow a book and put it back. And just so you can see where we're standing from, that doorway goes into the hot seat area. And to our right is the doorway into the annex. So we'll move into the hot seat area, and that's what that looks like. At the very far end, if you keep walking straight in front of you and to the left, at the very end, that's where we go into outside to go to the bathrooms. Now we are in the hallway between the cafe area that you can see over there with our billboard, the area into our hot seats, annex to our right, and then conference room door to our absolute right. This is the conference room of ConnectWork on Main. The windows here are out to the outside of the building. You can see here, it's outside, well, outside, inside the Holly Point. But just keep that in mind when you're having conversations in here. People can hear outside in the hallway. There is a door here. We don't really open that door. In an emergency, you can use it, but for just keep it closed. And the fan that's in the corner there is movable. That can go anywhere. You can use the whiteboard looking thing. Just make sure you clean it off. And that is what the conference room looks like. And the far side where that door is, that goes out to where the cafe area is and to go into the rest of the co-working space. You would enter the conference room from the front door that you can see in another clip or in another video. And this is the view of the conference room from the entry door. You can see kind of what it looks like. Tables can be moved around and put in different configurations depending on what you are using it for. The annex has a really comfy chair. It happens to be my favorite. This is Gail talking. And then our shelving unit with the podcasting equipment. There's now a label maker and a full shipping set of things with weights and all those things. That open door goes into the rest of the hot seat area. There is a curtain that pulls across. That black curtain pulls the whole way across the room to separate from the podcast studio and this quiet area. We have a standing sign where you can let people know what's happening. We also use this if we have special groups coming in to welcome them. The tables that are there, the white ones, I call those our transformer tables. Those can actually transform into a desk for anywhere. So if you wanted to sit here in this blue chair, you could grab one of the transformer tables and make it yourself a desk, pretty much anywhere in the CoWork. Each of the doors are labeled. You saw the conference room. In another snippet, this is labeled with the annex, so you know which rooms I'm talking about when I mention them. The light boxes can be moved anywhere in the co-working space, so if you find that you are having a call and you need better lighting, feel free to pick up and move those light boxes. So this is our main hot seat area. Again, on that far left corner of the screen, just past the shelving, there is a doorway there that goes out to, just to your right is to the bathrooms. The men's room is a code, and the women's room has a key that's hanging there on the wall. The doorway that's directly in front of us with the lamp, and there's a window through it, eventually that'll be our kitchen. We're putting a kitchen in there. There's pipes there, so if you're walking in there, just be careful, those are sticking out of the wall right now. But at some point that'll be our kitchen cafe area. The room to the right of it has a table top for 6, I believe. I call that the Benoit room. That was one of our original members, and he was just really awesome, so I named her after him. He helped me with some things, which was really cool. So that room is reservable. Right now the cafe room is reservable, and the conference room is also reservable, and that's included in whatever your membership level is. So the fan that you can see there to the standing tower fan, that's movable. You can move that anywhere in the CoWork if you find you need it. There's also one in the conference room that can be moved around. I just ask that you put it back wherever you picked it up from. There is a public computer on the desk in front of us with the printer on it. That is, if you happen to forget your laptop or something happens, you can totally use that computer. The printer is black and white, and it is hooked up to that computer. What else we got? Okay, so the tabletop in front of us, obviously you can use as a standing table, or if you like the bar height stools, go for that. And then that open doorway there goes into the annex. Any of these desks that just have a lamp on them are open. And carefully walk this way. So that dark doorway that's to the left of the shelves, there is a permanent desk member in there, just so don't use that space. And then that office, which is what I was just standing in front of, is more or less Gail's office, my office. If everything else is full for some reason and you just need to take a quick call, feel free to pop in there if I'm not here, and you can take your call in there. And this blue thing is super fun. It's one of my favorite pieces. Is actually a conversation couch. So this piece has electric in it. That's what that silver plate is. If you push on it, it'll open up electric for USB and a plug. That desk looking thing will flip around on it. It's super fun. This is totally movable, so you can move it around. But it matches another piece I have that's currently in what'll be the kitchen room. And anyways, I think it's really neat because it's, you know, there's electric in it. Woohoo! Okay, what else do we have? So that's the other side of the other side of the room. This is our public computer desk and our air filter thingy. The kitchen room. This is the door to the bathroom. You can see our little sticky note, very handily telling the humans that want to use the men's room what the code is. And then the key is hanging there on the door or on the wall to the left, right above the lights. And when we go through that door for the bathroom, I guess I'll show you how to do that. We'll walk this carefully so we don't drop you. You can see our key. We undo the deadbolt, open the door, it's a heavy door. And then you can see the men's room is there. And the women's room is there. And right through the hallway is that gray door is actually the elevators. So if you come up through the alleyway and you come in through the back door and take the elevators, or if you come through the front and then take the elevator, you can come straight into this back door. So this is what our door looks like in the back. For reference, this is the hallway that goes out to the main entrance of the Holly Point and where that grand staircase is. So I'm going to show you really quickly how to use the keypad. It's the same on the back door and the front door. This happens to be the back door, just for reference. The biggest thing to know is that the pad needs to be lit up before you put your code in. If you're using a punch code, you'll punch your code in and then hit the pound sign, and you should hear the deadbolt slide across. If you are using an e-key on your phone through the TT Lock app, then you would just hit the press lock button in the app and that will open it. The back door cycles on 120 seconds. So if you forget to lock the door to the from coming in from the bathroom, just know that in 120 seconds it will lock. I do try to make sure I deadbolt it. So that was me deadbolting it. And then if you use the women's room, just make sure you put the key back up on the wall. So this is the view of the hot seat area from the back door, where the bathrooms are and where you can also come in the back. You can see through that door over there is the annex, the light boxes, and then just to the right of us through the plant is the hallway going out into the rest of the space. And then the view from here, this is our fire extinguisher, so if we ever need that, that's there. And then our cafe room right here to the left of us, and then the middleweight room is on that second doorway.